Voting starts from 7 and ends at 5 normally. And of course, we have the ballot with the colors. I think the selected colors are yellow for yes and a dark brown for no. And so citizens would have to thumbprint whether they are in favor of it. And if they are in favor, of course, they will thumbprint yellow. If they are not in favor, they will thumbprint brown, the dark brown. And then, of course, they will place their ballot in the boxes. And at the end of the day, those will be counted. And then the returning officers in the affected areas, in the carved out areas, would announce the results.
We have a historic problem with spoilt ballots. I know that in describing this ballot, it sounds very simple, and there wouldn't be an expectation of things going wrong, but we do have that history. What's the EC's strategy for perhaps minimizing that?
Well, voter education, and voter education. I think that's ongoing currently. It's been going out for a long time now, at least for the last 2 months, a lot of voter education. What we've done differently is to nominate a number of our officers to go out into the field and serve as coordinators. And they will be working with the regional directors and the district electoral officers and intensifying the education. And over the last few weeks, they've been out in the field, in the market squares, in the churches and the mosques, in public spaces, educating people on how to vote. And we have, of course, the flyers and the education materials that they use. So we are expecting that, we would have quite a success rate and, of, credible or acceptable ballots, and would minimize the rejected and spoiled ballots because of the efforts that we've put in and because of the intensive education that we're doing currently.
Because there is such a large proportion of voters required in order for the yes to be upheld, spoiled ballots suddenly have become even more of a danger than ever before. So beyond education, which we do see in the run-up to every election, is there anything new, anything different that perhaps, you've talked about sending out some EC officials to participate in the education, but what has your research told you is the cause usually of these spoilt ballots?
Well, I think it's because it's mainly as a result of a lack of education. But we believe that because you have just 2 spaces, it's either yes or no. And, it's either yellow or brown, and with the intensive education, what we believe that it would be rejected ballots will be minimized. But additionally, we have flyers this time that come out in the form of a ballot. And we're distributing that. These are simple, very small flyers that not costly, but you can distribute and disseminate as many as possible. And, we're using that also as an education tool and really pinpointing, where people how they should exercise their votes and so on. So we believe and we hope that with the intensity and with the education of by the street announcers, what we've done is we have vehicles that are roaming the streets and, also playing the jingles. But in addition to that, we have what we call the street announcers, who would go to the market areas as well and do the mosques, the churches, public spaces to educate people. So we believe that with all that, we should be able to minimize the number of rejected ballots.
Now, Ghana's addressing system is not yet perfect. We're still working on it. Have there been any unique difficulties in identifying those who do fall within the area and those who don't? And how have you overcome any such difficulties?
Well, we haven't been. We have relied on our voters register. And of course, once you're on the register and in those in the carved out areas, in those polling areas, you qualify and you are able to vote. But of course, we are also allowing people to transfer their votes. But there's a criteria. You must show that you are a resident or you've been there for a certain number of years to qualify you as a voter there and that sort of thing, and that you hail from there. So not everybody can move and go and register there. There's some criteria that you have to follow and you have to qualify.